We're here at the short par 417 at Lake Presidential to talk about spin with a wedge. And so many amateurs come and talk about how they saw a professional spin it back 20 or 30 feet on TV, and when they come out to the course, it just doesn't seem like they can spin it back that far. First, some things you should know is that conditioning of the course has a lot to do with the amount of spin you can put on a shot. The tightness of the fairways and the wetness of the greens, as well as the slope, which you may not be able to appreciate on TV, certainly affects the amount that you can spin a ball back. So let's focus on what you can do. And spin is generated, number one, with an angle of approach, and number two, the contact, the clean contact that you place between the fairway, the ball, and the club face. So in essence, if you pinch a shot, the more loft the club has, the more the ball is going to roll up the club face and put on backspin. Okay, now, so what can you do in your swing to make that contact point happen? So the address position would have the golf ball middle of the stance or slightly back. We don't want it too far back. We don't want it forward, so we hit it on the upswing, but right about the middle of the stance. That'll create a slightly steeper angle of approach on the way down, and you can see that you're pinching the golf ball and the turf and the club face, and that will allow the ball to roll up the face and produce as much backspin as possible. This will help you with your distance control. Some days where the greens are firm, you may get more of a one hop and stop. On days when the greens are a little bit more wet, you may get one hop and it actually spins back. So you have to be careful how you play for your distance. If you're going to spin it back a few feet, you may want to think, I need to play it a few yards behind the hole. If it's a day where it's a little bit more firm, you can play it at the hole to that yardage and you'll get better distance control. So we've talked about what you can do as a player to promote distance control and to spin a wedge. And we also know that so much of that involves your equipment. And we know that equipment changes every 8 months or every year as new technologies come out. And so to help us understand what's new in the marketplace, we're going to turn to Scott Bavaro, an expert with Nike Golf, to help us talk about wedges.
Thanks, Nathan. Over the last few years, the USGA has gotten highly involved with what they're allowing amateur players and professional players on tour to do with their wedges. The main rule and decision that was laid down was based on the depth and the shape of the grooves. There used to be grooves called a U groove, and those are now being changed to V grooves. So the V groove is the only groove allowed on tour and for manufacturers to build from here on out. One thing that Nike Golf has done is we've come out with a new VR Pro wedge. And what that wedge will do, we've basically added more scoring lines to the face. And when you do that, you do improve the spin rate with your wedges. We've also added a nice cross-hatching pattern, which is also going to allow more spin, and the ball is going to grip a little bit tighter off the face.
So with that perfect position, that perfect striking position we were talking about, that's going to help any player, professional or amateur, spin the ball a little bit more, correct?
Correct. It's going to maximize spin for all types of players, regardless of handicap.
Excellent. Well, thanks for stopping by and sharing about the grooves. Let's see if we can put a good swing on one and spin one back on the green here. Okay.
Get it tight.
Okay. Okay, good shot there. And I struck it very cleanly, spun back about 6 or 7 feet, and you can tell I did that because I've marked a T here where the golf ball was, and if you notice the divot starts slightly ahead of that, meaning that I got that perfect down angle, pinched the ball, the ground, and the club all together, let the ball roll up the face, and got that good backspin.